before you ball. Love, relationships, and Muncie. I'm Auntie Buffy, and this show is part of the ACAST Pod Network. Thank you, ACAST. All right, why should you listen to Auntie Buffy if you're new? Because I've been married for 20 years with my man for 25 total. I used to be a licensed mortgage broker, tax practitioner, insurance agent, you name it. She walks it like she talks it. And I retired when I was 41 years old, and so this is my way to give back. All right. Okay, if you have a question for TT, don't be shy. You can send it anonymously if you want to. Text CBYB to 404-737-1091. All right, buckle up because we about to get into it. Come through. You ready? All right, nieces and nephews, we have amazing guests today. But before we get into the nitty gritty, before we get to kikiing and laughing and having fun and all that, y'all know I got to give you your vegetables. You know I got to tell you things from my heart that I need you to know and not just the things you want to hear from TT. So today I want to talk about the fact that I don't like that my nieces and nephews are out here settling for anything. Stop the cray-cray. You deserve the best in this life. We only get one of them. So don't settle for no man or no woman who is trifling. Don't settle for that job that you can't stand working at. Don't settle for not living up to your potential and your dreams. Don't settle for family members who treat you like trash but stay in your damn pockets. Oop, I said I wasn't gonna curse. Oh well, that wasn't that bad a woman. You are kings and queens, not pawns. You don't have to be a digital or a human ATM machine for people. That's just enabling folk. Quit giving them all your money. You deserve love and respect without it being transactional. TT gonna say that again. You deserve love and respect without it being transactional. I want you to understand that happiness is your birthright. Life is not about just misery and stress and just paying bills and just being dogged out and horrific. And it's not crawl before you limp and drag into a horrible life. It's crawl before you ball, meaning prepare now so you can do the things that you want to do later in life, the things that you deserve to do later in life. If you're in a bad situation in a relationship or with a family member or anything like that that's causing you problems, don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to say, I deserve better. Don't be afraid to say, I'm not settling for whatever anybody thinks I should get. I deserve the best in this world, and I'm going to set out to do what I need to do so that I can have the best and so I can achieve the best in my life. Practice mental health, financial mental health, practice breathing, practice sitting in the sun and getting your vitamin D naturally. People laugh at Auntie when I say go hug a tree, but baby, I believe it. Go plant your feet in the earth, on the ground, and let those electromagnetics run through your body and help cure you from feeling like you have to settle. You don't. You're a beautiful creature. You're my niece and nephew, so I know you're fabulous and wonderful and deserve the best in this life. And you don't have to settle. And stop letting these damn people go around talking about you should be humble. Screw being humble. If you got it all going on, do you, boo. I think that's a way for people to try to dim your spirit, dim your light. Stop doing that. Now, if you ain't got nothing to back up your being braggadocious or out here touting yourself, then go back and get yourself together and do it. But if you got the receipts to back it up, you don't need to dim your light with this humbling mess. There is nothing wrong with celebrating your successes. And if the people in your life are mad or jealous or say you're being braggadocious because you're celebrating your successes, walk away. Don't have them in your life, because folks who actually care about you will celebrate them louder than you, will be your biggest cheerleaders. I want my nieces and nephews to live their life to the fullest. I want you to experience joy. I want you to be able to go on vacations when you can afford to do so and when you have planned to do so. And while you're on vacation, I want you to actually enjoy yourself. I'm so tired of y'all going on vacation because you see somebody said you need it, and so you just settle for being able to afford the plane ticket, but when you get there, you ain't got no money to go on no excursions, or you ain't got no money to actually do anything fun, and you steady looking at your bank account. Just plan, darling. You can have everything that you want in this world I believe in you. I know that the tools exist out here for you to achieve that. You listen to your auntie. You deserve the world. And don't let nobody tell you that you don't. You get in the mirror every day and you blow yourself up like a balloon. Auntie does it every day because, the world is out here trying to just deflate us. And you look in the mirror like, what's her name? I think her name is Jennifer. I forget her name. She's an icon. But she says she gets in the mirror, brushes her teeth, and she says, damn, you're pretty. Do the same every day. Get up, brush your teeth, look in the mirror, and fill yourself up with positivity. I'm a good person. I'm a hard worker. I love myself. I'm filled with the spirit of gratitude. I'm grateful for the things that I have. I'm not going to lament about the things that I don't have, because when I'm grateful for what I have, the things that I desire will come to me in abundance. I know it's true. I know that it's going to happen for you. Be positive. Push out negativity. Because if you ever think about it, if you wake up and you're like, oh, I stubbed my toe. Oh, I'm going to have a bad day. Oh, this is bad. This person got on my nerves. Oh, it's going to be horrible. Traffic's probably going to be bad. Guess what, baby? You speaking that mess into existence. And ultimately, most of the time it happens. We create the world that we live in. We create our own reality. If you wake up and say, I'm a good person, I'm wonderful, I live in the spirit of gratitude, I'm going to have an amazing day. My day is fabulous. Everything is wonderful. And when things come up that are negative and you look in the positive of it, oh, unfortunately, this happened, but you know what? I'm glad I found out about it right now instead of later. Always try to look for the positive, and positivity will remain in your life. I love you. Titi believes in you. There are no limits to what you can do in this world. There are no age limits on if you decide when you as old as Auntie, 46, about to be 47, that you want to change it up and start a new career, bet on yourself and do it. If you're in a relationship that is not serving you and it's abusive or just not fulfilling you, make the decision to leave, baby. It's okay. People change their mind all the time. Ain't no reason for you to stay in a situation that is not good for you, that is not great for your mental health. Screw what other people say. All that matters is what you need in your life. Block out the negative naysayers who tell you, nah, you too old to do this or you too young to do this. Baby, Auntie bought a house when she was 19 years old. If I would have listened to other people, I wouldn't have done that. You can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it. Now, don't be out here scamming. Don't be out here scamming, and ain't no shortcuts. But if you understand, crawl before you ball, that things take time. And if you take the necessary time to prepare and do what you're supposed to do so you can do what you want to do later, you'll have everything you could ever want. Auntie loves you. I believe in you. And I know that the world is your oyster. As promised, now I just gave y'all vegetables. It's time now to kiki and have fun and also learn a few things with my handsome and gorgeous niece and nephew, Nadege and Jude. They're here today and looking fabulous because, they related to me. And we all wearing black because it's a metaphor for staying in the black financially. We ain't trying to be in debt.
Right.
So I want to welcome you guys to Crawl Before You Ball. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for having us.
And I'm part of the glasses tribe too, but Ty won't let me wear my glasses because of the glare.
Right, I was thinking, am I okay with mine on?
Y'all are fine. Okay. Y'all are fine. So I think that my nephew, Jude, has a question for TT. What's your question, darling?
Yes, ma'am. TT, I would like to know, my wife and I, even though we have a 401k and an IRA, we want to know if you have any advice for us to better get ready for the future for ourselves and our children and our retirement. Any suggestion there?
Yes, and that's a wonderful question. So I'll start with for the kids. Do you have a 529 plan for the kids?
I'm not sure what we have. We set it up a while ago. We do have a plan for the children on the side. Yes.
Okay. Well, I want you to find out what it is and let TT know. They're going to send you my email offline.
Okay.
What it is. I like 529 plans. You know, you put up money as an investment account for kids so they can use the money for college. But I am also a big fan of UTMA custodial accounts. Don't worry, we'll send y'all all this stuff. But they allow family members, everybody, you, aunties, Auntie Buffy, uncles, grandma, grandpa, on milestones of their life, to instead of spending money on toys, they could put $25 in this investment account for the kid. They could put $50 or $100 in addition to you saving for your child's future. And the great thing about custodial accounts is what happens when your kid decides they don't want to go to college.
Right.
That's what happened in my family. My nephews both decided that ain't for me. They tried it. We paid the money for a couple quarters and they were like, it ain't for me. I'm out. And so one of them decided to go in the military. The other decided to go into a trade and start working in the family business. And so what do you do then if you have a 529 plan? With a 529 plan, you would be subjected to penalties for taking the money out. But with a UTMA, you can use the money for whatever you want. The kid can start their own business. Your kid could take a gap year and go see the world, which is what we told our nephews to do, because you need to learn about yourself and determine what you really want to do. And oftentimes people that look like us aren't afforded that opportunity.
No.
Right. And, you know, you can use it to pay for a wedding, buy their first house, buy a car from, whatever you want to do. And there's no penalty, and it grows tax, advantage and all the other stuff that 529 plans do. But a TT loves a UTMA. And it also gets the family to stop wasting money on all them darn toys, because kids ain't paying them toys. They play with the box.
They sure don't.
Now, in terms for you guys, you said that you have 401k, which you're maxing out, and hopefully your companies are matching and all that good stuff. And you have an IRA that you're maxing out and forgetting about and not touching, right?
Right.
So Auntie's favorite appreciating asset is land, because they're not making any more of it. Buy property. If you own your own home already, that's great. But the next thing you need to do is buy some investment properties. They ain't making no more land. You see BlackRock and Vanguard and all these big companies and all these big multimillionaires and billionaires. You know what they're doing? They're buying up farmland. They're buying up land in the country. They're buying up land near swamps. They're kicking black people out their grandmama house. They're gentrifying areas. You know why? Because that's an asset that they can't create. There's a limited supply of land. And so like my grandmother told me, and I talk about in my book, Crawl Before You Ball, they ain't making no more land. So acquire as much of it as you can and keep it and don't sell it.
All right. That makes sense. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now, Nadege, you have a question for TT, right?
Yes, I do have a question. So we've been married for 15 years. We've been friends.
Wait. We're going to have a...
Thank you.
Hallelujah for 15 years. Congrats. Yes. Sorry. Auntie now had some Coca-Cola today. Go ahead.
No, thank you. And we've been friends for over 30 years. But although we've been married and friends for such a long time, we do experience seasons where, because of my past, my history of dealing with sexual trauma, we do go through seasons where there's doubt in the relationship. There's uncertainty. And you know how we can be sometimes as women questioning our husbands and things like that. And I do that with him. And so we're trying to figure out, how do we get past these uncertain seasons, these doubtful seasons? How can we get past through that? And also, how can we end the cycle? And how can my husband get into a place where he doesn't have to always have to prove himself in the relationship?
Thank you so much for sharing that with me. And I'm so sorry about your past dealing with sexual assault. I'm so sorry about that, darling. I really appreciate your openness and vulnerability and willingness to share with our audience. I will say this. Are you in therapy?
Yes.
Are you in joint therapy and couples therapy?
I'm doing therapy myself. We're not doing joint therapy right now.
So I'm married to a psychiatrist. Disclaimer.
Okay.
Disclaimer. I'm married to a psychiatrist and I believe in couples therapy. So obviously I have therapy for myself, for my own things that I need to talk about with my therapist, right, and to feel heard and to complain about my husband when I need to, and whatever I need to do. But so that my husband, because people would think, oh, he's a psychiatrist, he understands. No, he's my husband. He's not my psychiatrist. Right. And so sometimes you need a third party to hear you both. And so to help you have exercises and homework so that you can figure out to navigate this landscape together. You working on yourself independently is great, but that's not going to help Jude, right? You all need to be together in separate. I'm not saying cancel your therapy. Keep doing that. And listen, I'll be in therapy the rest of my life. It is the best thing I do. It's every Thursday at noon. And I love that now I can do telemedicine where I ain't got to leave my house. It's the best thing in the world. And more of us need to do therapy. And more couples should have therapy, even when things are great, not just when you're in those seasons of doubt and things are going on, because you got to work together. It's a lot. Even when you've been together 15 years, or Uncle Dave and I haven't been together, married for 20 and together 25. There's still things that you learn about each other every day. There's still insecurities, new insecurities that pop up, and self-doubt and problems. And, you know, men and women speak different languages. And sometimes, you know, and listen, I'm a woman too, girl. I know. Sometimes I'm sure Jude is doing everything in the world, child. And you just like,
you got it.
And Jude is like, like, what did I do wrong? We gotta have somebody else interpret us. We just do. Women are complex beings, and we got the right chromosomes. They got weird ones, and and so we've got to help them understand us, and then also you got to understand him better. And sometimes you need an expert to help navigate that. And like I tell people, like my husband and I are in therapy, been in therapy for years, and it's a fairy tale over here, but sometimes it ain't no darn fairy tale. Living with somebody is hard. It is.
Yes, it is.
It is. Adjusting and compromising constantly. And then you throw beautiful children into the mix who it's got to be all about them babies. And then your partner feels neglected or you feel tired. You got to have somebody else be a third party so you both can speak to your issues and have somebody help y'all navigate a way to get through that. And I want you to know that having seasons of doubt and having seasons where y'all ain't quite feeling yourselves, that's totally normal. It is. There's no indication of any problems in your relationship whatsoever. But, get somebody, talk to, you may not need to talk to somebody every week. Maybe do it once a month. Maybe do it quarterly. Just a refresher. Y'all got good insurance, I'm sure. Go on and use it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we need to use our resources. Thank you.
Do you have another question for me, darling?
Yes, ma'am. So my wife thinks that I have a superhero tendency or problem. I tend to gravitate, or people with issues tend to gravitate towards me, and it seems to bring a lot of high level of stress in our household. What would you suggest of how to deal with that for me not to feel like a failure?
Oh my goodness, darling. So you're on a high vibration, I can tell. And that's why people navigate to you. You have good energy and your wife is protective. That's what this is. It's not that she doesn't want you to spread that goodness and save the world, but your first priority and only priority really needs to be her and the kids. And she probably sees some people taking advantage of your goodness. And she wants you to conserve your energy, not be stressed out, because when you're out there saving the world all the time, you could get cortisol. It's going to make you gain weight. You're going to be stressed and haggard and not be able to enjoy your life. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to help folks. But it's just it's too many people out here that's just takers who don't give. Right. And I don't want you to feel like a failure in the things that you have to do because you're so burdened with the things that you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And you've got to set up healthy boundaries. And it's very difficult to do. I'm a fixer also, and I work on this in therapy. You've got to set up healthy boundaries. Blame them kids. No, I can't do it. I got kids at the house. I can't pay the bill for you. Right. I got 2 kids at the house and a wife, and we trying to build things. Blame Auntie Buffy. She told me no. The answer's no. No is a complete sentence. And you're not a bad person to say no. You got a whole family over there.
Yes.
Nephew.
Yes.
You got a whole family. That's all you need to be worried about. Period. You got a whole family. And don't allow other people to guilt you into continuing to be Superman for them. It's not right. Some people do it unconsciously. Some people are very deliberate about it. They're takers, and they can sense people with a high vibration.
Mhm.
They're vibrational vampires, and they suck all of the energy out of you. Have you ever found when you help those people, you're exhausted afterwards? And you have no time for your wife and no time for the kids, for somebody that is what in your life? Child.
Yeah.
And it's okay to help people, but you have a partner. Run it by her.
Yes.
She'll gut check.
Yes.
She knows you. That's what marriage is about, to have a partner. And
Yes.
she'll tell you nope. Or she'll say yes. I mean, if it's your mama or somebody to a certain extent. If family, she may say yeah. That's why you have a partner. You rely upon your partner. And it's okay to be a good person. Be good to yourself and be good to your wife and them 2 babies you got at the house. That's my advice.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was really good. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate y'all being on today. Y'all be productive. Continue being productive in this world. Keep loving on them babies. Buy you some land.
Yes.
Land.
Yes.
Land. They ain't making no more of that.
Oh, yes.
Right? And get that UTMA account for those babies and tell the family to quit buying all them stupid toys. The babies don't need toys. They need money. Mom and dad can buy the toys. Okay.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll put that on the Christmas list.
That's right. If you have a question for TT, please text CBYB to 404-737-1091.
All right, Auntie Buffy, we got some questions for you.
Yay, Cole. What's going on?
Dear Auntie Buffy, this is a little deep. I hope you don't mind.
No, not at all.
I am contemplating divorcing my husband after 3 years of marriage. I've been living in hell since we returned from our honeymoon, and I cannot take the abuse anymore. My concern is that I am not financially prepared to leave, and once I am gone, how will I rebuild? Do you have any tips for leaving a marriage with no money?
Darling, thank you so much for being open and honest and vulnerable to share this question that will help so many people. Not feeling safe in a marriage is not anything that you should have to deal with. Abuse is never okay, and you deserve the best. First of all, your safety is my concern. Money aside, I feel like you should look into, if you don't have family or friends that you can go stay with, a domestic violence shelter. They have them in every community. I volunteered for one in Atlanta, if you're in the Atlanta area, PADV, and it's top security, and they will take care of you and put you somewhere where you feel safe and take care of you until you can get a plan of action together. And so for me, I wouldn't wait. If you're fearful and you're living in an abusive situation and you're depressed and it's 3 years since your honeymoon, darling, it's time to go. It's time to go. And don't let money be the reason that you stay. You go on and look up domestic violence shelter and go, there's no shame in that. Everybody there will be loving and helpful, and you will be 100% safe. And when you get there, you can give yourself time to get in a mental state where you can create a plan of action to leave the shelter. And they don't really put time frames on you. I don't know if there are children that you need to take with you, but they take into account all of that. And there are resources out there to help you. In terms of getting a divorce or getting a restraining order filed, I know that the domestic violence shelters definitely help in that regard with free services for legal advice and for helping you report to the police so that you can have legal protections in place when you do leave the shelter. But ultimately, what I want you to understand is you are not alone. We see you, we love you. There's somebody else out there going through the same thing that you're going through. And by asking this question, you are going to help so many other people. And I want you to be safe. I want you to get help. And I don't want you to stay in an environment that isn't safe for you. Forget money. I know people like money rules the world. There are so many resources out there that can help you in this situation. And it starts with getting out of that situation because it's not good for you. Go to a domestic violence shelter and there'll be tons of resources there available to help. And I know because I volunteer with one. And they help from, everything from housing to seeking out legal, getting restraining orders, helping you find a job, whatever you need, and making sure the kids are safe. So I love you. We hope that you take my advice and that you change your life and that you get in a better situation. And I wish only the best for you, niece.
So your next question is from your Crawl Before You Ball text community.
Hey, boos, 404-737-1091, text CBYB. Hi, darlings.
So Renita wants to know, should you dispute health collection accounts? She was told that the purchase of the debt by the creditor was illegal and should be disputed.
So, no, don't pay it, dispute it. If you use a service like MyFICO, and we'll put links, you can dispute it within the app and they'll handle everything. But more importantly, the reason why you shouldn't be so worried about medical debts is, first of all, this stupid country shouldn't be charging people, putting no darn collections on your credit report behind some health issues. Anyway, and I ain't gonna get on my whole soapbox about why we don't have free healthcare in this country. But the reality is the Biden-Harris administration, and soon to be, hopefully, because Auntie don't care, I'm gonna say politics, Harris administration is looking forward to a path to erase medical debt from all credit reports, because it shouldn't be on there. And honestly, as a former licensed mortgage broker, I never looked at, when I looked at someone's credit application, as having medical debt as an indicator of how well they pay their bills. That's just not the case. That they had a car accident or somebody had a heart attack or something bad happened and they didn't have health insurance, that doesn't mean people aren't gonna pay their bills. And so there are a couple things. One thing, in April of 2023, a bill was passed where the three credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, voluntarily agreed to stop reporting any medical debt less than $500. So if your debt is less than $500, definitely dispute it. They're going to automatically take it off anyway. If it's more than that, just hold your mule, darling, because by 2026, the government is supposed to allocate over $7 billion for medical debt for millions of Americans. And if you have a question, text 404-737-1091, send the text CBYB, and Auntie just might feature your question on an upcoming episode of Crawl Before You Ball. Nieces and nephews, y'all got me all the way messed up. All the way. How many times have I told y'all to stop walking around here wearing your assets on your ass, on your arse? How many times have I said to stop doing that? Ain't nothing wrong with looking nice. There's nothing wrong with liking an occasional label. But if the light's off at the house, what you doing walking around with these labels on? Can I get an amen? Why are you spending the rent money so you could be out here in these Instagram streets flogging and faking? And yes, I said flogging, Auntie is of a certain age. For folk who probably got less money than you. That's crazy. Do you know how much what you could do to set yourself up for success in your life if you stopped caring about wearing stuff to make people think that you're in a better financial position than you're already in? Some of y'all out here spending $2,500, $3,000 on bags. If you put that in the IRA for 6 years, each year, when you buy you one bag a year, if you put that $3,000 in the IRA for 6 years and then forget about that money, by the time your auntie's age, 46, about to be 47 years old, that's going to be worth so much money that you ain't even going to be able to count it just by leaving it alone because of compound interest. If you buy these things and you wear them and you show out, next season, they out of season, right? They depreciate in value. Now, I have some nieces who told me, oh, Auntie, but Chanel bags and Birkins, you can resell them. That's great. This is fine. I love it. You can resell them as long as there's a market for that. It's not a tried and true market like stock market. So, yeah, you can acquire those things, but not to your detriment. Not because you're out here trying to show off. Not because you're trying to wear it to perpetrate some fraud. There are so many other things in this world that are far more important than what you have on your arse when you go out of the house or what you driving in. Auntie had the same car for 15 years. If y'all follow me on social media, y'all know Uncle Dave killed my car because I had put 2 engines in her Bessie. Bless her soul. Good old Bessie. The seats were cracked. Only one of the vents worked. But every time she had a problem with the engine, she had open engine surgery, and Auntie paid the money to fix it because there was no way I was getting no new car. Then I think he put sugar in a tank and killed her finally, and went and bought me a new car. Otherwise, I would still be riding around in Bessie. I don't care about all that. What I care about is my brokerage account. What I care about is being able to retire at 41 years old. What I care about is waking up when I want to and not clocking in nobody's clock, and being able to do this podcast and give my nieces and nephews free gems and game. That's what I care about. Not about wearing some darn outfit that somebody can be like, "Ooh, she got," anyway, they're gonna hate on you anyway. You think it's gonna get you respect. It's not. It's fake. It's feigned. It's fugazi. You know what real respect is? Being able to wake up when the hell you want to. Time is the real asset. They ain't making no more of that. And when you are trading your time for $1 so you can put something on your body that's going to depreciate the minute after you wear it, what sense does that make, y'all? Y'all know better. I have raised y'all better as y'all auntie. And if you hadn't listened, you better start listening now. You were always worried about what somebody think, but you going home and the darn lights off, but you riding around in some car you can't afford, and you wearing some shoes with some darn red on the bottom, so somebody can be like, "Oh, she got red bottoms on," when the designer probably don't even like y'all. Sorry. Rich people buy fake bags. Did y'all know that? Look it up. There's a New York Times article about the fact that realistically, rich women are out here buying good fake Birkins. You know why? Because their financial planners are telling them, "No, you ain't spending no $20,000 on no darn purse. That money needs to be in the market." So they go find them a good fake. And if you ain't a girl that want to have a fake bag, then don't buy a fake bag. But don't go around faking and flashing. I know real wealthy people. And they driving late model Toyota Corollas. Period. They ain't driving around no Rolls Royce. Child, bye. They're living in a modest home or a lovely home, but it was a family home that was passed down to them. There's in a trust. And they wearing Costco clothes. Okay. Now, when they go out to events and stuff, yes, they may dress up, but not every day. They're not doing that because they have people handling their money who are telling them absolutely not. Now, if you're an influencer and they paying you to wear it, then do you, boo. That's different. That's monetizing all that. Auntie is all for that. If you wearing it to make some money and you monetizing it, then I'm great. But if you out here in these streets just doing this to send this message that, you think that what you're wearing is more important than being a good person, then in putting up money for generational wealth, then it being important for you to own the land beneath your feet and buy your own house. Some of y'all out here wearing stuff that costs $10,000 between the purse, shoes, and the outfit, and you living in a place that you don't want to live in. What sense does that make? Stop the cray-cray. It's time for y'all to wake up, and I'm sick of preaching about this, okay? Stop wearing your assets on your arse. I don't need to see your net worth when you walk past me, okay? That's something I need to see in your brokerage accounts. Auntie loves you. You needed this cussing out. You did. Take it. It's out of love. If you have a question for TT, please text CBYB to 404-737-1091. I didn't mean to be so harsh. Yes, I did. Wake up. Auntie ain't playing with y'all. Y'all know better. I raised you better than that. I love you. It ain't nothing wrong with looking nice. Some of them clothes you can get. Anyway, real fashion nieces don't need labels. Ooh, catch. All right. Love you. Now we reached the end of our episode, and it's time for your homework. It's Auntie's assignment. Y'all know I'm about to get y'all some homework, and you best do it. Okay? I love you. Otherwise, why are you listening to TT? All right, we talked about not wearing your assets on your arse. Stop the tomfoolery. Your assets should be in a brokerage account. Your assets should be in property, not on your arse. Okay? Do it in moderation. It's crawl before you ball. It's earn, save, ball occasionally, repeat. Okay? We talked about leaving an abusive relationship without money, and I shared a resource, the Partnership Against Domestic Violence, an amazing organization that can help get you into a shelter and help you with resources to make sure that you're safe and to get a job and to get a divorce. We talked about health debt, medical debt, which y'all shouldn't have anyway. It's crazy. This country is making people pay for medical expenses. But what I said is that hold your mule, Congress is working on it. If the new administration that I think is going to win wins, this is one of their primary goals. And by 2026, they have said that they're going to get rid of $7 billion in medical debt. And there's also already legislation that passed where the 3 credit bureaus have said they will get rid of any medical debt under $500. So if you have little nitpicky medical debts on your credit report, go ahead and dispute them. And you should always challenge medical debt anyway, because it's all trumped up anyway. And most of the time, the hospitals, they're going to settle for less anyway. Also, we did a lovely interview with my niece and nephew, and we talked about UTMA, custodial accounts. I know I'm a huge fan of a UTMA custodial account for the kids. And we talked about the importance of investing in land, which is an appreciating asset that they ain't making no more of. And when you're in a marriage with living with someone for years, and you may have things that you bring to the marriage that you've dealt with in your past, and just growing with somebody, I really, really, really believe in couples therapy. I think a lot of people think you should be in couples therapy when things are wrong. No. Sometimes, like, what was that book, Women Are from Venus, Men from Mars? We don't speak the same language. We just don't. And sometimes you need an unbiased third party, not your cousin, not your best friend, not your grandma them. Keep them out the business, because you know you're going to be mad at your husband talking smack, and then when y'all get back together, they're going to have a grudge. Talk to an unbiased, licensed person who can't run their mouth in the streets, who can help y'all come up with exercises so that you better understand each other. Other than that, I would like for you to like, share, download where all podcasts are, subscribe. If you love TT, review it. I need thousands of reviews, 5 stars or no less, honey. Show me some love, because I definitely am doing this podcast out of love for all of you. It's my way to give back. A lot of people ask me all the time, TT, do you mentor? I'm doing it right now. So if you have a question, text CBYB to 404-737-1091, and you get free help from TT if we choose your question for the show. And my course, I have 2 courses, Crawl Before You Ball, the regular, just learn how the revolution that I talk about in my book. And then I also have a Crawl Before You Ball credit course at crawlbeforeyouball.com. Thank you for listening and watching the Crawl Before You Ball Love, Relationships, and Money podcast, brought to you by the ACAST Podcast Network. And that's it, y'all. I love each and every one of you. I want you to go out and be productive members of society. I want you to go out and hug a tree, get some sun, plant your feet in the earth, and crawl before